What is up, YouTube? We are back with another workout video. So we are at the gym right now, sitting outside of Crunch. It is snowing like crazy, but we are about to go in, and it is deadlift day today. So we're gonna hit some deadlifts and then a little bit of accessory work on the legs, and that will be it. So we will see you inside. Okay, so we are in the gym and we are doing some deadlifts. I also have a special guest doing the voiceover with me.
Hello.
What's your name?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn? You're going to watch us lift some heavy weights?
Yes.
Nice. Do you know what this exercise is called?
Nope.
It's a deadlift. So right now we're just warming up. So we have a 45 on each side. So that's 135 pounds. And we're just repping out a few. So I think Stacey was doing 4 reps and I was doing 5 off the beginning. Then usually I taper down to about 3 reps. But we're just slowly increasing our weight, getting the feel for it before we start going for our heavier lifts. You know how much weight that is?
Nope.
2 45s on each side plus a 45-pound bar.
I don't know.
225 pounds. But these are just warm-ups. I can't remember what we both ended up working up to, but I believe, yeah, so I'm doing 315 at this point. This deadlift day felt so good, though. It was I felt so strong. I ended up going for a PR on this one. So that is very exciting, and that will be in a few sets.
Yes.
Put my headphone on my ear. Thank you.
All right, so Stacy is working on 275 on this lift. Looks like it's feeling a little bit heavy.
Like 275 pounds.
275 pounds. So she hits a double here, and then she switches the lifts that she does. So here it's 4 plates, so 405. Is that a lot of weight?
Yeah.
What's that, like one of you?
I don't know.
I think it's a little bit more than you. So here Stacy is doing essentially she's doing like a pause with her deadlift. So she's pausing just below the knee there, which is like a sticking point. So like mid shin, she pauses there for a 2 count and then she pulls through. That's just going to help her to develop her power and just build that strength to avoid any sticking points. All right, so this is my attempt at 455. I am not a big fan of deadlifts. I do them because I like to develop that strength, but at the same time, they're definitely not one of my favorite lifts. But that was a 455 for a heavy single, which was feeling pretty good. Here, Stacy dropped her weight a little bit, so now she's doing 185 for the pause reps. But again, just trying to build that explosiveness and really build out of that sticking point to help her hopefully hit her 3 plates sometime soon. That is one of her goals, is to hit that 315. So shouldn't be far off now. And then here is the PR set. So going for just one heavy single. I've never pulled 5 plates before. This actually felt really good. As you can see, I am using straps, but it felt so good. So that was very exciting. And then this is I think they call it like the super squat machine. I've been incorporating this quite a bit because it's got the feel of almost like a front squat, but for some reason it just feels very light, and it seems like the more plates I put on, it doesn't really get that much heavier until like I'm sitting at like 5-6 plates. But this was Stacy's first time ever doing this machine, so she was feeling it out, starting with the single plate. But honestly, like it helps to just build that strength up. You can feel the load, but for whatever reason, it's just so smooth that you can barely even tell that you're lifting that much. Because I can definitely not lift this much for a squat, especially not this many reps. So for this one, we were going much higher. So really, I was aiming for like anywhere between 8 and 12, but these felt really surprisingly very easy. So I just kind of kept going with it. And here is our second set. So as you can see, she added an extra 50 pounds. The way that these pads line up, it is a little bit wide for her. That's why she's got this weird grip. I even asked her about it during our workout, wondering why she felt like holding it that way. But I guess it just feels very uncomfortable for her because of the wide shoulder pads. The same thing goes for the standing calf raise machine. For whatever reason, that one seems so wide too. But yeah, this machine felt so good, and no real complaints. Again, like the amount of plates I can load onto this and do it for high repetitions is kind of insane to me, because I don't even know if I do that much for leg press when I do leg presses. So very weird that it feels that light. But I've been incorporating it. My squat 1 rep max has been slowly increasing, so I take that as a good sign. This was a very tough leg workout though. There was a lot of we actually did very high volume. A lot of the time lately when I've been doing legs, depending on how hard I push, I find that I just kind of have been burning out lately. So I'll do my main lifts very strong, and then I'll kind of gas out and we'll lighten up the load for the rest of the volume. But on this day, I felt so great that we we really pushed it. So we did 3 sets on this machine before moving on to the next one, and I was, as you can see, we were throwing like decent weight on there to really get it going. The very first time I ever tried this machine, I actually had it completely maxed out to the point where I couldn't fit another plate on there, and again, it felt very, very smooth. This last set, though, I do remember this one started I started to fade out. I feel like near the end here, I start to almost pause in between. Probably more so my cardio than my actual legs, but I was definitely feeling these super squats. There's that pause I was talking about. Started getting a little heavy and a little bit more fatiguing for me. Still managed to get some solid reps in there before moving on. That's right. So we moved right on to the walking lunges. This was an absolute killer. Also, I don't know why it is, but I even asked Stacy about this after, why she doesn't come all the way up when she does walking lunges. But I swear it was just the angle of the way I was filming, because I believe in another set I film her from the side and it looks so normal. But as soon as I film her from the back, it looks like she's doing like duck walks where she's not coming all the way up. She's just kind of crouching down. And then here I go for my walking lunges. So I believe here I'm using 45-pound kettlebells in each hand. Soon I'm going to have to suck it up and go walk over to the actual dumbbell rack, because I've been progressing on these and I've been very consistent. If you have been following me for a while now, you know that I hate walking lunges with a passion. These are honestly one of those exercises where as soon as I throw these in there, I just want to throw up. But I just kept on repping it out. This was my first set, and honestly, my goal for these is just to do as many as I possibly can. It did get cut short there, but I made it all the way back while doing walking lunges. So I did 2 laps, but we had some people that wanted to walk by, and we didn't want them to feel like they had to walk all the way around, so we just cut that clip short. But here is set number 2. So as you can see, like just the shift in angle when I was filming her looked completely different. But as soon as you look from the back, it almost looks like she's not standing, like she's not completely extending at the top, which is just so funny to me. And then she's doing a nice farmer carry all the way back. These just, I mean, lunges just burn your legs so much. But on this set, my legs were so insanely pumped at this point where I did 1 lap all the way there, and then on the way back I had to drop those kettlebells because it was just so insane. We filmed this workout, I think it was last week. So, but the crazy thing is I remember this so vividly because it was such an intense workout. And like Stacy even mentioned, like that we seemed to be pushing like crazy because we were doing so much more volume, which is honestly, it's typically what volume I do, but for whatever reason on the weekends when we would go together, every time I'd just like burn out and I'd be like, okay, we need to cut this short because I feel like I'm gonna throw up or something. Like, so this workout I was feeling back to normal. So as you can see, I dropped those kettlebells and then just repped out some body weights using my hands to kind of assist me to push myself up. But man, the pump was so insane. So we do 2 sets. This was our last set, but my legs are so pumped at this point. For the next exercise we did hip. So we did hip abductors, and man, I literally, like at this point, my quads were so pumped that I had to take a break and like try to stretch it out. I still couldn't do it. So Stacy ended up sucking it up and going first because I was just being a baby. I could not even sit there with my legs bent because my quads were so insanely pumped. I even tried to drop the weight hoping that would help, but it made absolutely zero difference, and it was just the most painful, awesome pump I've ever had. Like, I kind of wish I was wearing shorts that day because it was crazy. Also, the hip abductors, this is one of those exercises where it's honestly blown my mind with how much of a difference I've seen in my squats and really just like my leg workouts in general. I have started consistently adding these, and then as well I've been doing not hip abductors. I've been doing walking lunges, fairly consistent. I don't do them every leg day, but I would say probably every second leg day. And it has been like such a game changer because like before I would lift and I would be getting stronger, but I wouldn't necessarily feel that great of a pump unless I was doing like hamstring curls and leg extensions. If I was doing those, I'd get a nice pump because they're just like a very isolation type exercise. So yes, they're targeting the quads directly for leg extensions or targeting the hamstrings for the hamstring curls. But lately, adding in these hip adductors, like my glutes have been firing, my hips, my quads, like everything has just been on fire just from these and the walking lunges. Even on the days where I don't do the walking lunges, my legs are still so insanely pumped lately that it's just phenomenal. But here, as you can see, I do a couple little cheat reps where I push to just get those extra few reps. I push out with my inner thighs and then just try to control the negative in just to really empty the tank on these ones. And it's awesome. Like this has become one of my staple leg exercises and one of my favorite. I max out this stack, but again, like by controlling tempo, by controlling rep range, you can increase intensity anyway. So even though I'm maxing it out, it's still there's so many other ways that I can manipulate it to still create that effectiveness, and it's just been phenomenal. So we did 3 sets of this, and it was awesome. See, there it is. So pressing out and then just trying to control that negative as best I can. Even at this point, though, my quads were on fire. Then we switched to just doing some hamstring curls. So this was a very quad heavy day, because I think this is the only exercise that we actually did that like isolated the hamstrings. So these felt very good to just change it up and give my quads a little break. But even having my quads resting on the hamstring curl bench was a killer. Like I remember having to like kind of try to shake my legs out in between each set just so I could be able to mentally push through the pain to continue working out, because it was just so insane. Again, it was just one of the best leg workouts in a very long time. And my leg workouts lately have been, honestly, all my workouts have been so phenomenal lately. I've just been feeling so in the zone. But this one had to be like the top one. I don't know if it's because right off the beginning with the deadlifts, I managed to hit a PR, and then it just got me in that mindset to just crush the rest of the workout. But holy smokes, what a fantastic workout this was. So much volume in, so many different exercises, crazy pump. And the crazy thing is, after this workout, we were a little bit tight the next day, maybe the next 2 days, where it was like, you could tell we worked out, but neither one of us was like that that feeling where like you overtrain your legs and you have like a hard time just like sitting down or getting back up from sitting down, where they like tighten up. Like the delayed onset muscle soreness was just, it was not bad at all. So because at one point I remember going down the stairs later that day and being like, oh geez, we might have pushed it too hard, because I felt so fatigued. Because we also filmed our meal prep video on the exact same day as this. And I remember crouching down to like go in the fridge at one point, and I had to like use my hands to like push myself back up because my legs were so fried. But surprisingly, the recovery was on point, and it was not that bad the next day or the day after. Because I don't know, if you've ever had the DOMs, it can be a complete killer, which is why I never really started training my legs until I was already in my 20s. Like I would train them once in a while. Like growing up as a teen, I would constantly be working out, but I always avoided legs. It was always like upper body. It was always those vanity muscles, the ones I could see, my biceps, my chest, my shoulders, those types of workouts. And I would always avoid legs, because every time I did legs, I'd have just the most insane muscle soreness, because I was just training so poorly that I was doing way too much and not allowing myself to work into it. And then of course I always have to finish it off with some calves, but we didn't film Stacy's because there was a lot of people around. We didn't want them being on camera just in case they didn't want it. So that is it for the workout. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you for the outro.
Okay, so we just finished our workout. It was a good one. My legs are dead.
PR.
Yep.
Hit your 2023 goal.
Not yet. I'm 5 pounds away.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was 5 plates that you wanted to hit.
Well, I think I said 5 plates, but 5 plates is 495. I was gonna hit 500, so. But I could have hit 500.
For sure you could have, but I think it would have psyched you out a little bit if you had those extra 2.5s today. We'll never know.
I'll find out next time. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this workout. If you did, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Peace.